Welcome to another episode, everyone. Please subscribe to the channel if you have not done so. Little you, big U's son, Khalifa. This is his interview here. As many of you know, we had a bit of a problem, sort of. He did not necessarily like the content that was run on him and his name, his family's name, that I had reacted to. He asked me to play the entire video so that everyone can get the righteous perspective, if you will. He didn't go crazy. He didn't talk crazy in the message that he sent to me on Instagram. He just asked, could I play the whole interview? He said that a narrative had been created to make him, look, however the narrative made him look like he himself or his family had something against Nipsey Hussle, etc. And again, he wanted the entire video played so that everyone can get the entire scoop, the entire situation, and then make their own decision. So here it is. Out of the interest of fairness, of course, shout out to Lil U. As I said, I have no problem with him. Want to be fair about everything. So let's see if you all change your mind and change your perspective once you see this entire interview. I haven't seen it. I'd like to see it as you all see it so that my reaction is authentic.
All right. Welcome to Wild Mogul's Perspectives, man. How you doing?
What's good? I'm alright. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam, man. State your name, brother.
My name is Khalifa Mutalib. I got other names, but Khalifa Mutalib, Khalifa for short.
Okay. What's some other names that we know you by?
The name my mama gave me when I was born, which is Michael. Also the name I inherited from my dad, Lil U, Pop's Big U. So
Pop's Big U.
Michael, Lil U, Khalifa. If I can't remember any other names, probably because I didn't like it.
So where'd you grow up?
I grew up right here in LA. In between Santa Monica and, the hood, I guess.
The hood?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
1988.
1988.
Yes. I'm actually a lot older than what you probably think I am. Which is wild because I seen this ad on Instagram and it was like one of those late night ads, but the shit shocked me and really it messed me up. It was like you just scrolling, then it reminded me of like one of those them DeVry or was it like the little commercials where they be like, man, you just sitting at home and you on the couch and life is passing you by, you know what I'm saying? You need to go sign up with Trade Tech. And it was like one of them kind of joints. So I'm scrolling and it was like, do people think that you're younger than what you actually are? I'm like, whoa. Like, yeah. Have you never broken a bone before in your entire life? I'm like, yeah. You might be a light seer or some shit is said. And I was like, what the fuck? But I had to Google that one, but like, it was like a light seed or some shit like that. But yeah, man, I've been around for more than 2 decades, and I might be a light seer or a light seed or something like that. I just might be. So who knows how old I really am and how long I actually been in existence? We'll find out, I guess.
So how was it being Big U's son, man?
Shit, it's the gift and the curse. For a long time, it didn't really matter about being his son because he wasn't there. So it wasn't like it wasn't like people automatically associated me with him. It was more so like, that's Big U's son, because I was just playing football and stuff like that. But it wasn't like when he came home, and then like when I got older, then that's when it started to like matter that he was my dad. That's when people started to actually like pick and choose how they wanted to relate to me because of who my dad was. But before, it really didn't matter. It wasn't even people didn't even know my dad was Big U. Like I knew my dad was Big U, but I didn't know like what that meant growing up as much as I do, or as much as I know now. But it was both. It was when I was younger, it was always good though. It was never anything about being Big U's son that got in the way or stopped things or made things weird. That wasn't until now, you know what I'm saying? But growing up, shit, it was, you know, I used to hear stories all the time about him. I may have, I don't remember being treated any differently than anybody else, but I do remember oh shit, you your dad. Like I remember that. Like it was always like oh that's crazy. Like I said, it was never nothing negative like how it is now. But before it was just like, oh shit, it was cool like to be Big U's son. It was like, oh shit, that's tight. Like, oh damn, your dad Big U, or oh man, I remember when your dad this, you know. So it was always all these, your dad did this, your dad did that, which with any young kid that look up to their dad, it's gonna always influence my way of being and my way of thinking to
try. What was the first time you can say like it impressed you from like the person it came from? You know what I'm saying? Whether it was a street star or a celebrity, what was like the first time that like it really hit you? Like, damn, like this is like this nigga like respect my father. You know what I'm saying?
Probably like, I'm trying to think, cause these are things I never really thought about before, but maybe like around like prom when I was graduating, and I was like, and like Suge Knight came to my graduation, my champagne party, and then I drove his Range Rover to prom and shit like that. So that's like when it was like, damn, like you starting to see like, damn, like this is kind of things that's like happening with pops and shit like that. Cause my dad, or when I used to hear his name on the radio and the Corrupt song, that was one of the moments like damn, like my pops is on the radio. Like it still was too young to really like understand it, but I knew like, okay, my dad's really somebody. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's one thing to always hear stories about your dad cause he's not around, and then it's another thing to hear your dad's name on the radio, and it's like, you know what I'm saying, like sheesh, like damn, my dad really like on the radio, like people yelling his name, screaming his name out and stuff like that. So.
But now another thing, you said you didn't grow up with your father, and like knowing you and your family, I can see that you guys are a tight-knit family, and even your dad maybe not being it because he was incarcerated.
Yeah.
His personality, and you can see like he should try to make it like, we're gonna keep this moving, keep this rolling, you know what I'm saying? And I know he was still trying to be like their father, even though he was incarcerated, he was still trying to be present and in your life. And so explain like, you know, like those meeting in jails when you was younger, and like, you know, how were those times with him?
Always, it was like, it was to be real, it was like, cause we used to have family visits and stuff like that, and that's when you spend a night for like 48 hours or something like that. Then you got your normal visits. So, like my mom, I don't remember a year or even 6 months unless my dad was like in the hole or couldn't get visits to where we wasn't up there. I don't give a damn if he was in Lancaster, Blythe, Susanville. I don't give a damn where he was at. We was there. So my dad was never not present. You know what I'm saying? I understand the difference between being home and then visiting your dad. I understand the difference and the difference that it made in my life. But at the same time, I always was learning stuff from my dad, whether it was the dean, whether it was about African American literature, you know, whether it was about numbers, counting, reading. It's like he always was teaching us. He never wasn't teaching us, never wasn't learning when it came to my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's discipline too. I get in trouble at school. I definitely didn't want to go on that family visit because I knew I was gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
will he whip you in jail?
Fuck yeah. The fuck yeah. Nigga, yeah, you know what I'm saying? If you want to call it whipping, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that was like.
Would the police stop it?
Nah, nigga, we'd be on family visits.
Oh, okay.
So we'd be like in like the little house situation. You know what I'm saying? So I know, yeah, nigga, I was getting whooped out. Yeah, getting disciplined, whatever you want to.
Yeah, and you certainly, some people I don't think realize that the family visits there in prison. You can have a family visit with your wife, but it's close to 72 hours, 3 days. It's close to that, where you go off into this little room outside of the yard, still on prison grounds, and it has a stove in there, a little refrigerator. Your wife brings in food that she's cooked. You can cook inside of there also. You stay in there for 3 days with your wife. TV in there, look like a little room, a little motel room, essentially. This is a great respite for the individuals that are in prison, having close human contact. But you can also have family visits with your family, not just your wife. So your children, your mother can come, your sister, brother, whatever. And same thing, y'all in there for 3 days in a room, chilling, catching up, having human contact, and feeling like a human again. So that's what Lil U here is saying, that they went on family visits no matter where Big U was at, and that he would get whoopings even there on a family visit. Well, yeah, the police come by in the same way they do in prison and check on you and do a little count or whatever. You're still on the institutional grounds. You're still an inmate. Make sure you haven't escaped and so forth. Other than that, you're in there by yourself in a room. They leave you to yourself, give you some privacy. So they're not going to be coming by while you're getting whooped and saving you for the most part. But, so far I would say I did not know that. So if Little U here, Khalifa, was born in 1988, I believe he said, that would make him 38 years old, or soon to be, depending on the date of his birthday, at least 37 years old, and be 38 at some point this year. I would not have thought that. So it just seems like someone, to this point anyway, as he said early on, being Big U's son at first, at least growing up, had a different connotation than it does now. He said at first people, sort of praised it and glorified it and lauded the fact that he was Big U's son, but now not so much. He didn't elaborate, at least thus far, what the difference is, but he's not getting that same love and admiration, I suppose. To this point anyway, it just seems like someone who loves his father. You can't help who you're related to, who your mother is, who your father is, who your brother is, for that matter. You really can't choose your family. Not that he would choose anyone different for a father, not that his father has done anything wrong. I mean, I don't know. He hasn't been convicted of anything. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know him. But I'm just saying, regardless of who his father is, may be, may not be, he's just someone who loves his father. All he knows is this is my dad. He's referring to him as his dad. Just reminds me of someone who just has a bond with his father. And I'm curious to know if his father gave him that name, Khalifa Mutada, I believe he said, whatever it may be. If so, meaning that his father is, I suppose, steep into the black culture, into the African culture, to give a name like that, which would make the allegations against him then a conundrum. Because, either you love your people or you don't. Either we're going to do right by our people or we're not. And I didn't always do right by my people. Lord knows I'm trying to make up for it now. Always loved them, though. Always had a certain love for them, but didn't always do right. When you know better, you do better.
Call it, yes, sir. So, you know, he never stopped being my father, you know, even though he wasn't there for those amount of years, like 13 years. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, like he taught me like mostly everything that I know, you know what I'm saying, growing up that mattered, you know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about like something you get learned at school. I'm talking about something only your dad can teach you, like, you know what I'm saying? Now, all that stuff, like, yeah, he never stopped being our father, you know what I'm saying? Whether I learned how to make voodoo in prison with my dad, or like I said, I learned who the Browder files were, Anthony T. Browder, or like authors like that, like all that stuff came from my dad. You know what I'm saying? And him and my mom able to keep it together so that, you know what I'm saying, I can grow up knowing that I do have a dad, that he's not home, but he's not a deadbeat. You know what I'm saying? So
that part.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it never was like my dad never was not present. I understand. I do know there's a big difference being home and then not being home. You know what I'm saying? But he did the best he could with the situation that, you know, he was in, and that was to always remind me, you know, my worth, my self-worth, and my history, and whatever else that, you know, dad's gonna do. It just happened when it just was through 15-minute phone calls or a visit, you know.
So how many siblings do you have?
I got 4.
So how many sisters and how many brothers?
Sure, I got 2 brothers and 2 sisters.
Beautiful. And so now, also, what were some other, like, do you have any other father figures, like, you know, like your dad's homies?
Okay, so there you have that, because, you know, a lot of people, or some people were asking anyway, and not a lot, but some people were asking in the comments, and, you know, I thought Big U's son, you know, had gotten killed. This must be an old interview or whatever they were saying, referring to him in this interview that I had reacted to before. But no, as we just heard, 5 kids in total, 3 boys in total, 2 girls. So it was one of the other kids who had been unalive, Baby U. Baby Huey, they call him, I believe, Huey, Baby Huey, Baby U, what have you. He was the one that had lost his life, unfortunately. Not him, as we just heard. This is his oldest son, Little U, Khalifa.
Your brothers or uncles?
Yeah, I had you know, I had Coach Al, my Uncle Derek, Uncle Big D, my cousin Marvin, you know what I'm saying, my uncles. And I'm naming people that I can actually remember learning stuff from. I'm not, you know what I'm saying, like so when you say father figure, like I'm thinking of like, cause you know what I'm saying, it's a tribe, it's a community, so there's no lack in male figures. People like to say that, but like there's no lack in male figures in the black community, by and large. I think what the difference is yes, they're there, but what kind of values are they instilling into the young men and women, which crosses over from just being a black dude that you see all day long or you see around into a father figure.
Okay.
And so surrounded by black men, you know what I'm saying, and women, but the actual lessons that are being taught, that's when I say, okay, father figure, Coach Al, father figure. Big D, father figure. Why I say Big D, father figure? Because I can remember like yesterday, when I used to play traveling basketball at Crenshaw, he'd be one of the dudes that make sure I got to practice in whatever case. And he, you know, I played with his son. And I remember one time I was throwing up baskets, and I can't remember if I was missing them or making them, I can't remember, but he said something, and I was like, I'm a football player. And then he was like, don't ever put yourself in the box. You're an athlete, you do everything. And, you know, he probably like damn near these guys are like almost 60 years old now, if not 60 years old now. So,
well, if there's a lot of black men around and they're not teaching these individuals, then yeah, they're not any sort of father figure, not anyone who should be leading, not anyone who should be followed. They're not worthy of being followed. If these individuals are older, mature, and making some of the same mistakes, have not broadened their horizons, are not intelligent thinkers, are not encouraging you to read a book and become intelligent, who are not encouraging you to apply said intelligence, then you don't need to be around these individuals, and these individuals do not need to be considered leaders in any way in our community just because of their age. Age does not define intelligence. If they're not putting in the effort in trying to raise our youth and get us out of this mess we find ourselves in, then they are not worthy. They do not merit praise. But rest in peace, I meant to say earlier, to Little U's brother, Big U's son. Again, that was someone different. That was Baby U, who lost his life. Rest in peace to that individual. However that transpired, neither here nor there. At this juncture, he lost his life. That's all we know, as have a lot of individuals and a lot of youth here in this nation at the hands of our own people. And that needs to stop quickly.
He probably don't remember that, but I do. You know what I'm saying? I do, and it probably really did resonate with me until like later on in my life, to now like when I approach my music, I don't have a lane. People be like, oh yeah, such and such is in this lane, and then you're in lane. I'm like, my lane must be like this wide then, because it ain't nothing that I can't make. It's not a sound because I like to be challenged, so it's like there's nothing I can't do. But that comes from that seed being planted, where it's like, hey man, you're not just this, you're whatever, you're everything. And then, you know, I got let's see, you know, I got my grandpa. You know, I'm saying, I was visiting my grandpa when he was in Chicago. You know, straightening up for our discipline is, and then, you know, I got my uncles that was there. You know.
Did you have an uncle that got shot at Corrupt studio session or something?
Yeah, my uncle Dwayne, rest in peace. He was gunned down at a studio session with Corrupt, like in like 99 or some shit, like almost 99, 2000.
Wow.
And so.
Do you remember that day?
Yeah, hell yeah. I remember that. I never forget that. That used to still trigger me. Like, I got better now, but they used to still trigger me because I think that was the first time that I felt connected in a way to something that as a kid, I thought I could have helped prevent. You know, I felt like I could have did more, or I could have, if I would have just tried a little bit harder, he probably wouldn't have been there that night. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is, like, my uncle used to stay with us. And so every night he'd leave. And then like that one night, I asked him to stay home, and he was like, I'm gonna be back. He never came back. And like, I woke up, like, I remember I was asleep on the floor. I think it was me, my brother, and my little cousin. We was all asleep. I fell asleep in the living room. And then my mom just woke me up and just handed me the phone. And it was my dad on the phone telling me my uncle had got murdered. And that's like, that messed up a lot of people in my family.
Imagine.
You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't nothing that I wasn't used to at that. By that time, I'd have been to a few funerals. I know what it's like, you know what I'm saying? But it was just like, this is a person that when I would get up and go to school, sometimes Uncle just be asleep, and I'd just go get a little cover, throw it over him, and leave. That's my uncle, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when I found out he was murdered or whatever, it was just like, I couldn't. It was just too much, man. It was just too much. That one hurted me. That one hurted me.
Now, you know Corrupt for a long time, obviously, then too, huh?
Yeah. Yep. I mean, Corrupt. That's what I'm saying. Corrupt, pretty much. He started like coming around after that. Like, I think I knew him. I used to see him when my.
Yeah, and rest in peace to his uncle. You know, This is someone who's been through some stuff. Obviously, his father in prison as he's growing up. He's young. His father is in prison. He was young then when his uncle was murdered as well. I believe he said 1999. He was born in 1988. He was 11 years old or so when his uncle was killed, but he still remembers it, as he says, and remembers loving his uncle. To put it in short, to paraphrase, he just loves his uncle. And these sort of things. And then, of course, he recently lost his brother. This interview was clearly before his brother had lost his life. So this is someone, and now, going to visit his father in prison and all that, and then now his father back in prison under the RICO, what have you, fighting for his very life for sure. His brother's been unalive, so you don't know what anyone's going through. You don't know what any man's going through. You can't judge anyone. You can't judge any man. None of us can. Because we don't know anyone's story. We don't know what anyone lives in the privacy of their own heart every day and every night. So I would encourage you, if anything, to be kind to people. When you see them on the street, when you see them in a grocery store, when you see them at the gas station, just be kind to people. Because you don't know what this person is going through. And just you being kind can save this person. Literally, just a kind act could save someone's life. Someone can say, that just restored my faith in humanity. I was just about to say, forget this world, but the way this individual spoke to me with respect and honor and recognized my humanity just changed me and just changed my mind. That may sound far-fetched, but it's not so. Just be kind and see how far it goes to changing this world. See someone, say hi. See an older person, an older lady, say yes, ma'am. Older man, you say no, sir, yes, sir. And just be kind. I think we can change the world that way because you just don't know what someone is going through. That's what I think every day. Who knows what this person is going through? Has went through, has been through, and is going through. Regardless of what the demeanor says, what their face says, may have the brightest smile in the world on their face, but it's truly frowning on the inside. And you don't know if you don't take the time to find out and be kind to someone and recognize their humanity. At the same time, recognizing your own.
Uncle started being with him. But then after my uncle died is when we really started to see him all the time and start to be with him. And I think that's when I started to, now that I look at it now, I think that was the start of me being in the industry, whether I knew it or not. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm saying that because I can see the order of things from, now I'm with Corrupt, now I'm in studios. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm in real studios. Even though I'm not knowing, but now I'm in studios. Now I'm around producers. Now I know Fred Rec. Now I'm at video shoots. Now I'm meeting Uncle Snoop, but on a personal tip, not, Snoop, can I get a picture? Can I, I'm talking about in the crib. I'm playing Sega Dreamcast. They in there working on the Eastsiders album. Yeah. I can pause the Dreamcast and walk in there while they're recording the Eastsiders. You know what I'm saying? So that's when when I started to be in that, on that industry type shit at a time where I was young enough to not realize hey bro, you kind of think about who you can be 10 plus 15, 20 years from now to where I am now. And I can say, I see where it started. You know what I'm saying? Cause that wasn't, even though I was around that stuff, I was still a football player. I was still an athlete. So the focus was never on music, but it was always something that was there. The focus just was on other things at the time.
So now, when did you go to college?
Yeah.
What college did you go to?
I went to Tuskegee University, HBCU.
Oh, wow. And you did football there?
Yeah, I was on a football scholarship.
Wow.
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
From Tuskegee?
From
high school?
From Crenshaw, yeah.
I didn't go to Crenshaw.
You didn't go to Crenshaw?
No, I went to Santa Monica.
Santa Monica High School?
Yeah.
All 4 years?
Pretty much, yeah. I went to continuation my last year, but yeah, pretty much all 4 years, because I still graduated from Santa Monica. I just had went to a continuation for my senior year.
Okay.
Which is all a part of this crazy story, because that's just the I feel like it was just so much. It was so, because my dad had came home by then, so it was just so much.
Why would he assume that he went to Crenshaw High? Dang. I mean, I know his father's from 60s and whatever, but my goodness. You have to understand that just like a lot of these rappers or what have you, like Young Jeezy and whomever else, who I do listen to, will rap about your child selling drugs and killing someone and then going to prison. But meanwhile, their child is somewhere in Harvard. They're not in the hood. They're not at Crenshaw High. He was at Santa Monica. Not that Santa Monica is just, well, yeah, it's a whole lot different than Crenshaw High. So while your dad might be in the street, he's going to make sure or do the best to make sure that his children are not.
It was it's almost like, it's not almost, what it is you being the first person for everything. So all the mistakes is gonna be made with you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I had to go through. Which is why I be feeling the way I be feeling these days, because it's like shit, like I'm not asking for no pity party, but I'm just saying, like, people gotta acknowledge what people went through. You know what I'm saying? People don't like to acknowledge that shit, because nobody ever gave them a chance to or nobody ever acknowledged their trauma. You know what I'm saying? But I'm different. Like, I feel like I'm willing to acknowledge your trauma. You know what I'm saying? As long as you willing to acknowledge mine. And I ain't gonna say as long as, because I'm not gonna say that my way of being is based on how you treat me or how you relate to me. I'm always be me. But I'm just saying it would be nice, you know what I'm saying, to acknowledge the shit that people go through, because, you know what I'm saying, that's how people start healing. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You saying, hey man, like.
Yeah. And there you have it, you know. That's sort of a paraphrase on what I just said, but yeah, you know, you just don't know what someone's going through or has been through. And you do have to recognize someone else and someone else's trauma. I used to think that sometimes it was often an excuse when someone would refer to whatever they've been through in the past and sort of have that as a correlation to why they are the way that they are now. I found that to be off-putting before, but oftentimes there is a connection. And again, if you want someone to heal, if you care enough, or at least do not want to add to anyone's trauma, then just be kind. And just try to understand. You may have had it different. Your life may have been different than someone else's, so perhaps you cannot relate. That's understandable, but if you are a human being, then you should always be able to understand, digest, absorb when another human being is going through something. If you have a sense of humanity, that is, that's the only way. If you don't, then you don't even understand. This is going right over your head.
All the shit that you went through, man, it's like, damn, bro, we feel you for you, because it shouldn't. You would say, oh, it shouldn't have to been that way, even though Allah's the best of all planners. But at the same time, it's just like, damn, like, shit could have been done differently, but it wasn't. And ultimately, somebody had to suffer. And when the person that suffers is now looking to say, like, hey, I done figured out that, hey, like, when I was in high school, like, there was no fucking reason why I should have ever been a continuation. I should have been playing my senior year of football. Mm-hmm. I should have been on the track to go D1 like I was supposed to, go to college, go whatever. But because it was the mishandled, being mishandled by all the adult people around me, it's so much easier to say, hey, it's your fault. It's your fault. Yeah. And it's like, and you live your whole life thinking it's your fault till you have your own children, and you're like, hey, how the fuck you gonna blame this kid as a kid. That's what parents is for, to help you, guide you through this shit. Isn't that why every time somebody becomes successful, the first thing they say is, I want to thank my parents? You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying, they was there. They made sure, you know what I'm saying, this is how it's supposed to be, this is what's gonna go. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, but like I said, I got one person that's coming from prison. I got another person that I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? And then it's me, and it's like, I'm a product of this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I mean, I've had conversations with your father, and he even said it. It was like, I mean, do you feel the same? Like, Dayon and Cherish, they were able to have their father, like, their whole upbringing. Whereas, like, you know,
you see the results.
You know what I'm saying? And you see you and Huey, you know, and Dom, like, y'all didn't have the whole time. Like you said, he wasn't a deadbeat, but it was just the circumstances. You know what I'm saying? And as much as he wanted to be there, he was there, there still was that situation where you basically, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and it's like, and if you know him, it ain't no, oh, okay, this how it is, let's see how we can work this out. It's like, oh, nigga, if you ain't coming, I'm coming, and fuck you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, so that's what it was. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it wasn't. It was toxic, bro. It was just toxic.
How old were you when he first came home?
Like 14 or some shit like that.
So what was the energy like? I know so you're managed now. So was the energy like another grown man, two grown men in a house that don't really know each other per se, or it's like know each other, but it's kind of like now we're both in this house together?
It was like know each other, but now we both in the house.
Now we both in the house.
We're both in the house. So it's like, I don't think it was tense. I think it was more so like him just not liking the what was going on, but not able to hold himself accountable for it, and more so just like coming down hard on me about everything that I didn't do right, or everything that he didn't like that I didn't do. Okay. You get what I'm saying? So that's where I feel like that's where the disconnect started to happen. Like damn, nigga, like you getting bad grades in school, you don't come home to a tutor, you come home to a 2-piece and a biscuit, and then you like, nigga, I'm out of here. I'm not about to be getting whipped on, nigga, because I'm getting bad grades. I'm running away from home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? But I realized, you know what I'm saying, that what it was rooted in was fear of his son not being successful, wanting his son to be successful and trying to get him to be on the right path, but the toxic elements behind it because of who he was and the tools that he never got, the self-help that he never got, he wasn't able to raise me in a way to where it's like, hey, this is rooted in love. Like what I'm trying to do is to help you. It was like, yeah, it's rooted in love, but it's toxic. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, if I get a report card and I got all F's and I'm getting in trouble to 3 o'clock in the morning, that's not about to help me get no better grades. But if I'm getting all F's and I come home to cut all that shit off, go in that room, I got a tutor. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's how you know what I'm saying? But look who my dad is. My dad, like you know what I'm saying? It's Big U. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think before he came home, he did like 2 years in a hole. And I'm saying that to say that I wasn't raised by somebody who was emotionally intelligent enough. You know what I'm saying? Intelligent in other areas, right? But in those areas, to really manage me at the age that I was, to kind of like get me back on track or whatever track he think I should have been on, and to keep us going. It wasn't there. It was just like, it wasn't there. Like, I get in trouble, I run away from home. It wasn't like, go find this nigga, bring him back. It's like, drive around, see a nigga that he know, get this nigga $1,000 and tell him to give it to my son. You know what I'm saying? Not come back home, but here's $1,000, stay out longer. You know what I'm saying? Either you make it or you don't. You know what I'm saying? That's my dad. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like, it was almost like, yeah, nigga, give you a rope to hang yourself damn near. And then be like, hey, nigga, you the one that wanted to, you smoke weed, or you do this, or you do that, you do this. When it's like, nigga, now that I'm a man with a grown ass, with a 16-year-old son, I know the shit that I'm not gonna do. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to go through it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it'd be like, the reality of the situation is that everybody was I I mean, not now. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's a difference in being accountable and being a victim, and I feel like they both can coexist.
That's a little cold. That's a little cold-hearted right there. I mean, just me. That's just me and just my opinion. You know, my heart is a bit different or a lot different. I mean, I can never see my child. I don't have any children, but I know myself. I'm sure I still will. It's not over yet. Somebody step up. One of you young, pretty black women step up. What? No, I'm gonna figure. I'm gonna pick which one I'm gonna have I'm gonna let carry my baby. I could have had one with whoever by now. She's gonna be pretty and she's gonna be black. That's for sure. Nevertheless, I mean, nah. I understand tough love, you know, but you know, I believe Lil U said he was 16 at the time. So if you think you big and you think you strong and you think you grown, you're not about to be in my house, breaking my rules. I'm the big dog up in here and all that. I get all of that. I mean, I don't know what happened there, why he would run away, other than what he's saying. Well, he had bad grades and pops whooping on him and this and that, and whatever situations may have come to the front, causing him to get out of there. Whatever the situation, though, I just can't imagine riding around looking for my son or seeing some homeboy like, yeah, get it to my son when you see him. I don't care if it's $1 million. No, y'all better go bring my son to me. Get my son to me. Get my son back to my house. You see my son, you don't give him nothing. You snatch him and you bring him to my house. I'm gonna split you open. That's it. Then when my son get there, I tell him, you better not ever leave this house again. We got a problem, we deal with it. Ain't no love for you out there in the streets, boy. I love you right here. Them streets, they not gonna love you. You think I'm being rough on you. You stay out there if you want to. You'll see the real toughness. You stay right in here with the people that love you. That's me, that's my response.
But the accountability has to come when you know better. You know what I'm saying? When you got a position in your life where you fucking know better, you can't. It's like me saying, "Hey man, this ain't going right in my life. I'm about to go rob somebody," and then I'd be like, "Well, this shit started 400 years ago when we were slaves." Like, but right, bro, that shit don't got nothing to do with what you just did. You are right though. Yeah. The systemic racism is embedded into the society to where black people are born with 2 feet and 2 legs tied behind their head. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But to get all the way to this grown ass man point in your life and still be trying to blame, that's the part where it's like, hey, don't think that I'm not holding myself accountable. I'm just saying I understand that the way I was born and raised, I was a victim of circumstances. But now I can't blame that now. But before I went to prison, you know what I'm saying? I don't really beat myself down for the kind of person I was, because I went and found out what the fuck I was going through. You know what I'm saying? The same way it helped me to reconcile, at least in my heart and my soul, with my dad, because I had to ask the questions that the same questions I asked myself, I had to ask about him. Who the fuck raised him? What was it like for him? You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Like, you get to asking these questions and looking for these answers, because that's how you are able to release the negativity that you had. I found that it's generational. I found that through this book it's called Black Boy, and I found out from reading that book that, and other things, that this shit generational. This shit didn't just start with my dad.
Now, did you do some research on how your dad was brought up? Did you see some answers? Answers to kind of the ways how he acts. Or how he's been treated?
One of them is responsibility. By and large, as I've said this plenty of times, but by and large, and for black culture in America, we don't have the ability to respond. You know what I'm saying? So it didn't just start with him. You know what I'm saying? And think about, you know, my dad not knowing his dad, or my dad being told weird stories about his dad because of the politics in black culture with women against black men and black dads. Mm-hmm. So, you know what I'm saying? He didn't grow up in a perfect environment. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same shit. And the reason why I know is generational, because some of the same things that I went through with my dad, I was putting my son through inherently, like, or even if that's not the right word, but like subconsciously, I was putting him through shit that I went through until I would realize, like, damn, I'm only doing this because my dad did it to me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying my grandpa did anything to my dad negatively, but I'm saying that I do know that my dad used to sleep with guns growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, sleep with guns and shit, like, just, and not like he was scared, but like he used to sleep with guns. Like, that's what he would do. I mean, shit, goddamn, just write a fictional story off of that, and it's gonna sound like American Gangster. This young nigga sleeping with guns. That same guy 10 years later, 10 years plus that. You know what I'm saying? 10 years after that, you know, this is how he was raised, how he was brought up. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's when I started to like ask the questions and really like stop blaming everything on him or my parents, and I understood that this was by design.
When you was young, did you get into the hood, into the streets before your pops got in? Came home.
I was kind of like, I was straddled the fence. Like, I never was all the way doing anything.
Yeah. Like,
you know what I'm saying? I've always been somebody that was had my fingers in everything.
Yeah.
Like you know, I would be banging 6 on people in school, and that's what I knew. That's what I was around.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't know everything about it, you know, I didn't even know Crips killed Crips growing up. I thought Crip was Crip, blood was blood. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? He wasn't like he was there to like give me like a gangbanging one-on-one, you know what I'm saying? But I was around it, you know what I'm saying, my whole entire life. So, you know.
Now, did your dad introduce you to Nipsey, or did you know Nipsey from the neighborhood?
No, I met Nip through my dad because I never even knew who Nip was until my dad started doing music with him. That's why I found out who Nip was.
Okay. How was your relationship with Nip?
Shit, little bro, big bro.
Huh.
That's it. Like, shit was smooth. I had no smoke at all. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all ever do music together?
Nah, I never did music with Nip. I never made a song with Nip. I'm so mad I didn't make a song with Nip. That's crazy. I never made a song with Nip. I fucking wish I would have. But then actually, I probably shouldn't. Glad I didn't, because my subject matter was boo-boo back then. It's trash. And one teacher.
Were you older than him, or the same age?
Nah, I'm younger than Nip. I'm probably like, I think Nip like the same age as Brian, so I'm probably like 3 years younger than Nip.
Okay.
3 or 4, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, you know, there's always these speculations that, you know, like your pops and this Nip and they always try to throw like they had this big beef, and I understand like everyone gets into arguments with your friends, and it was like it may be 8 years or so prior to his death, but like he was in the Real Niggas video and he was in a bunch of videos with Nip. Like, they clearly patched their thing, they was back cool. So like let people know, like, you know, they was cool, like, you know what I'm saying? You seen the vibe, and you know what I mean? You know, what do you feel about all of this stuff that you hear throughout the net? People just talking shit.
I mean, that shit is annoying. These people don't know what they talking about. They just be talking, and they just be wanting a story. And the Big U has something to do with Nipsey is the better story to them. It's just like, and I was never there for when my dad got into a Nip. Do I think that my dad had smoke with Nip afterwards? To keep it real with you, to keep it a band with you, I don't think that nobody ever completely goes back to being how it used to be. I think they were working on that. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I think by like, cause like my dad is like the kind of guy that's like, he knows how to separate his when he wants to. He knows how to separate how he feel personally about somebody from how I'm going to be with them publicly. You know what I'm saying? So he might be like, man, I don't know if I really like this nigga, but when we walk outside, nigga, we all from the same tribe, and the nigga better not say nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like how my dad is. You know what I'm saying? So, and like I said, my dad never shied away from being who he is. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, my dad is like a normal person. He might have a day where he just might be like, man, I don't really like how that shit played out with Nip. And then next thing you know, he might be on the phone with Nip, planning something for the community. But that's everybody though. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, people, that's me. Shit, I'll be wanting certain shit to be a certain type of way with some of my friends. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, I'm entitled to feel that kind of way because that's how much I care about our relationship. If I didn't, then you would know. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? But like when I care about something, I'm always be more emotional and emotionally involved because I care. You know what I'm saying? I want things to be a certain type of way, or I think they should be a certain type of way. So I might not be feeling such and such today. But, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna still push up on him and we still gonna do whatever we got going on. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things where I feel like people want a story, and I understand, but it's just what it is. Like the internet allow people to it's the internet. The people allow people to just say shit and not have no repercussions, or just don't realize what they could be actually, who they could be harming and what could be going on, because you can do this shit from right there in your fucking bathtub. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it just be getting out of hand, and like I said, people want a story, and Nip and my dad was on good terms. You know what I'm saying? When Nip passed away, they was cool. You know what I'm saying? And my dad don't benefit nothing from Nipsey Hussle demise. He don't benefit. There's nothing that he's going to get from that. You know what I'm saying? And if he was the kind of guy that wanted that to happen, then why would he wait 10 years? Why would he wait all this time to then do something to somebody where it's going to be a bigger story? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If that was the case, why he didn't do the shit when whatever it was it the mailbox money or whenever I don't know when it was that Nip because Nip had a transition from bullets to this to Nip Hussle, who we know, who we left as. So like why didn't he been do something? Yeah. He's supposed to be this big U guy that can do this and that and do this and that and make things happen. And why didn't he do that to Nipsey Hussle if he really fucking had a problem with this man? Yeah. You get what I'm saying? That'd be my thing. You know what I'm saying? And then I don't know everything. So people don't know. And the little things that I do know, I know people don't know, because this man done risked a lot to help Nip continue to grow. So why would he do everything that he's did, risking all the things that he risked to help him to then have something done to him, for it to all then be spent around for him to be blamed for it? You get what I'm saying? It's like one of those situations, it's like the Tupac and Suge situation, and which like, ironically enough, even with Puff, you know what I'm saying, Free Unc, it's like you realize that if you don't know these people, the best thing to do is not listen to the shit that you hear, because you don't know these people. And now that I have that experience in my life and with my family, it resonated with me even more to just realize, like, man, I don't listen to the internet. I don't listen to what niggas talking about. I actually know these folks. And if I know Suge, or if I know Puff, or if I know my dad, and I know that somebody could just make up a fucking headline that people's gonna go run with it, it like kind of like it make you see that, like, damn, I'm glad I'm not like that, and I would never ever take something that I see or hear on the internet as truth, especially if I don't know these people. Because the people that I do know, I can see how easy it is to lie on them and make these fake ass stories, and everybody's going to believe it, because the lie is buried in the truth in today's society, unfortunately.
Now, do you know? Have you ever seen these guys like Loose Cannon and Brick Baby around?
Nah, I ran into Brick like at a show, like a Young Thug show, or like a pop-up clothing store or Melrose, but like Loose Cannon, I never met that nigga in my entire life. I've only seen Brick Baby through Past maybe once or twice in my entire life. I don't really know these dudes like that.
And now Wack 100.
I mean, I knew Wack. I knew Wack because Wack was friends with my dad, and I got my own feelings about that dude. I felt like there was a time where it was just all these different rumors going around, and it involved me, and it seemed like it always would get to my dad, but it would always come from Wack 100. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I kind of like didn't stop fucking with him, because he never personally did anything to me. I actually never had a problem. That was my uncle. Like, you know, he knew me from high school. Like, I didn't even know that him and my dad had beef. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even know that shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I had my own feelings about him because of certain situations that happened that I had nothing to do with. Like, I remember Chris Brown got robbed, and shit, my name was thrown in the mix. Yeah, my name was thrown in the mix, and my dad had called me like, yeah, such and such told Wack 100, and Wack 100 told me that you robbed Chris Brown. You know what I'm saying? So it's like shit like that, to where I'm like, man, what? So naturally, anybody be like, man, fuck Wack 100, because he lying. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, that was like, realistically, that's really what happened. Like, and then it was like something else that had happened, and then Wack had called my dad, and it was like some more shit about Lil U that was not so far from the truth, because I wasn't even in LA, and I don't even fuck around with people like that. So it was just like shit like that, to where shit just kept popping up with my name involved in it, and it sounded like it just kept coming from him. And then my dad, he would tell my dad, and my dad would be bitching at me about it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where it was just like, that's why I'd be like, this shit crazy, because it'd be the same niggas that was in cahoots. Now y'all niggas is beefing. You know what I'm saying? And I just be feeling like I just want to separate myself from all that shit, because hey, nigga, y'all was in cahoots at one time, and I was on the outside. Leave me on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Leave me on the outside. When you niggas would get together and be having y'all little politics sessions at y'all little round table, nigga, leave me the fuck alone. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep it like that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those situations where it's like, I could have told you these niggas is weird. You want to listen to me? So, yeah, the fuck?
Damn. So now, when did you start getting into music?
Shit, I've been in them, like I told you, I've been doing around it, but like actually like.
You started?
You mean like, when did I start?
Officially, like.
He said every time he turned around, his name is up in something. Wack 100 calling his pops, putting his name in all kind of stuff that he don't even know nothing about. He said he tried to tell Pop, man, these dudes weird. Stay away. But Pops did not listen. This is his story. So he said, keep the same energy. Y'all been keeping me out of it. Keep me out of it. I can dig that, man. Come talking to them, don't put me in it now.
Start doing music.
Right before I got locked up, like 2014.
Okay.
2014, 2013. Like 2009, but like actually like recording like Pro Tools and being in a booth, like even when I had to run out the booth and go hit the space bar to stop it and hit it to run it back in the booth, like actually like 2014.
Why didn't your dad ever work with you? Or you guys have, or just? I
think shit. Like I said, man, I just feel like, and I really don't talk outside my family, but I think that it just was, we just had too much of this, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like it was more so on his side, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like maybe we was just, my personality was probably too similar to his, to where just we could never get over that hump, if you will, of just like, let's just meet in the middle. You wanted to do it like this, you want to do it like this. Well, let's see how we can do it together. And instead it was like, if you don't want to do it like me, then we're not doing it at all. And I wasn't doing it like you, P. Because you don't have the vision. You don't have what I was blessed with. Because this is me. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by he don't have the vision, I mean that by if it's 2010, Soulja Boy is on fire. He's dropping content constantly. Soulja Boy around the same generation. So I'm like, oh shit, that's it. All you need is a camera, a nice car, and you can get out and shoot that video. Put a chain on, video, YouTube. Come to this man. No, we need this, we need that. And I'm like, yo, all we need is a camera, and we don't even need the car. Just get the camera, let me play my song, and I could just, cause I'm watching Soulja Boy's formula, because this is what's working. It's like me telling my kid, it's like me, my daughter, like, oh yeah, we gotta make this TikTok video, and I'm gonna stand in front of the camera, and I'm gonna do this, and I'm like, no, we need this light. We need that. I need you to write a treatment for it. And she like, Dad, all I gotta do is this. And I'm like, well, nigga, if you don't wanna do it, I gotta fuck it then. That's what I'm talking about. So it's like, bro, you should just let me, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know this is my generation. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, just let me, no, nigga, woo. So then he go find somebody that listen to him. And that turns into a 14-minute music video with 10 people in there that did 100 views on YouTube in 10 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and I'm not bashing them, but I'm just saying, like, that's the reality of it, nigga. I know what the fuck I'm talking about, but you can't see that. Yeah. Because you are a big you, and you can't see it no other way. Yeah. Or you just don't respect me enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna let my son goddamn do him. I'm just gonna come in and where it needs be. And if that's the nigga with the connections, to say, then that's what I'm gonna do. But no, you can't. You don't see it like that. You need to be in control. You need to do this. You need to, and if niggas say anything that to your disliking, you turn off. Which is, I get that from my dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, you turn off. You just shut down. You just shut down immediately. Like, I'm better at that than him, but he just immediately. It's like, nigga, all I'm saying is, to use my daughter, all she's saying is, Dad, all I gotta do is get a tripod, turn the song on, and do this, that, and boop, and post it. Nigga, you over here talking about we need a whole production, we need treatment, I need to go sit down and write down everything I want to do. And I'm like, yo, that's not how, we don't even, they don't do, look at Soulja Boy. All the nigga do is have his Canon, go in front of it and shoot his music videos, and he got about 30 videos up right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, we would always have that conflict because he couldn't get out. He couldn't just let go of that, being that, and just be like, hey, like, I got a talented son. Let me just get behind whatever it is he talking about, because he know what he talking about. Let me 160% support this shit the same way I do everybody else. You know what I'm saying? So I always been like that, where it's like, man, I got to go do my own shit because I got my own vision. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, man, it's not a big you smear campaign, but shit. I mean, man, you gotta support your kid, man. You gotta be there for your child. You know, and it's not about you. You wanna be, damn, you bullying everybody. You wanna be a bully to your kid too, or you gotta be the big guy in the house to your kids too. You know, you gotta be the number one. It's all about me. Your child come to you and say, I got this idea. Let's do this. And you say, no, we got to do it this way. This is his idea. This is his vision. This is his dream. It ain't about you. You didn't think about this. You wasn't talking about this. I came to you and said, let's do this. You want to put all what you want to do into it. It's not about what you want. This is what I want to do, man. Jeez. Just support your kid. That's it. It's not about you. You ain't got to be the man in every situation. I'm just saying, man. Jeez, man. Golly. And you know, shit, that's just who he is. You know what I'm saying? It worked for some people. It don't work. I feel like he was stuck in that Nipsey thing, to where it's like, hey man, like you maybe suggested some things to Nip, but
you and Nip work together. Obviously, you put things for help to him get here, but maybe you helped the process a little bit faster. But that nigga was gonna be Nip Hussle regardless.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But because that's not your son, you treating the situation differently. You know what I'm saying? You treating it a whole lot differently than you treating it with your own flesh and blood. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like, I'm looking at it like, nigga, I feel like I was just as talented in what I'm good at as this man, as rest in peace. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we just could never work together. Like, we just could never work together for those reasons. It's like,
how about with Huey? Y'all ever work on
man, that nigga.
So what he's saying, if we read between the lines, if we can translate here, is Pops chose Big U over him. Excuse me. Pops chose Nipsey Hussle. Big U chose Nipsey Hussle. Not in a son type sense, but business-wise at least. It seems that Pops was investing more in Nipsey Hussle, his time, money, efforts, whatever, into Nipsey Hussle's dream and vision instead of to his dream and vision. He just said, I'm just as good as Nipsey Hussle. I could have blew up. I could have been just as good as a rapper or whatever, just as famous or whatever as Nipsey Hussle. But my pops didn't put all of that into me. Instead, he put it all into Nipsey Hussle and then tried to take all the credit for it, basically. Because he just said, Nipsey Hussle would have been Nipsey Hussle without you. You helped it along or whatever, but calm down a little bit, big dog. You ain't do all that. Yeah, I guess I do see why you wanted to see the whole interview, because, it's a bit different. At least I'm getting a different take altogether on what was said here and his perspective and how he feels about certain things. And hey, clearly he's saying a lot. He's exposing a lot. He's saying a lot about his pops. I would not say that he's speaking down on his pops or disparaging or castigating his pops. I would just say he's keeping it real, about what he experienced growing up with his pops. And how at first it was different when he was growing up in his childhood. Even when you said the name Big U, he was treated different than he is now when you say that name. But even more than that, even deeper than that, he's someone who's just saying that, from what I can gather, I don't want to insert my own opinion here or, put words into his mouth, but he said my father was there. My father was a father. He was there even when he was in prison, even when he wasn't there. But apparently Big U was tough, harsh even. If he runs away and you say, hey, get this to my son when you see him, that's sort of harsh. And then obviously he feels something still to this day about Pops putting that much effort into someone else, which happens to become the person we all now know as Nipsey Hussle. He was not Nipsey Hussle at that time. And his Pops was putting all of this effort and time or whatever into him and his career, when clearly he's saying now that had he done that with me, his own child, I could have been Nipsey Hussle. I'm just as good. This is what he's saying.
He was okay with Pops telling him, naming him Yui Popcorn. Like, I would never went for that. But that's the thing though. I wouldn't have went for that. And what does that mean? That's why you didn't know that I make music. That's why I never had a tour for Mike. That's where it was never this for because if you don't go with what he's trying to say, he's not fucking with it. So you couldn't name me Yui Popcorn. You know what I'm saying? And nothing came out of that shit. Because it was bunk. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, those are the things where it's like, hey man, I know that something special about what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? I just got to keep going. I had to go through what I had to go through to get to this point that I'm at now. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, I made music with my brother, but my brother was just like everybody else. If my dad say name yourself, you eat popcorn, okay, cool. You know what that transition into? Now he get to go on tour. Now he doing this. Now he got the music behind. Now he got all the shit behind it. But the difference is it was never meant for these people, like how it was meant for Nip.
Yeah.
It was never meant for all these other people. You know what I'm saying? It was meant for who it was meant for. And I'm one of those people. I just had to go through some things because my journey is my journey, and my music is for the world. So a lot was working on me. It's like what I realize now is like I went through everything I went through so that now my music is global. My music is inspiring, motivational. I'm talking about something because of my life experience. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't have it no other way.
And I think your music and your image in your music is like completely the opposite of what you would expect a Big U son.
Yeah,
to be. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like it's funny. I have my manager over here was one of my closest friends, and I was playing her like one of my alternative joints, and it was like
Yeah, man, it just sounds like Big U is just, I mean, so he wanted him to name him, or I don't know that he wanted him to take the name Huey Popcorn, but he wanted the other one to do it, and he did it, I guess. He said, I wouldn't take no name like that. It's stupid as bunk. He took the name because, at his father's direction, and because of this, he got a little favoritism and was able to go on tour and do all of this other stuff, but it still didn't work out for him. In other words, he still didn't blow up. He's still not Jay-Z because it wasn't meant for him, he's saying. It was meant for Nipsey. So, not everyone can do it sort of thing. So, I mean, he's being real in this interview, at least, and authentic, I would say. And he's not really pulling any punches. He's not necessarily covering for his dad. And hell, not at all, really, whether he realizes it or not. You just never know what's going on behind closed doors. We may look at a situation, look at his situation. Let's say he became a little famous from his music or what have you. And we may look at him and say, oh, it's only because your father is Big U. Nepotism. Your pops got you in the door. He's steeply involved in the music industry, etc. Nevertheless, not knowing the backstory. Again, we don't know anyone's story or what anyone is going through or has been through. And, now we know, or we should know, we would know, I would know by listening and paying attention to this interview, that should he make it as a musician or what have you, it would not be because of his father. If anything, it may be in spite of his father. His father apparently has not pushed his music through, has not opened any doors for him, has not gotten him a feature with Boosie, or whatever. He probably could have done some of these things. Clearly he could have. I mean, his father's in the industry, knows a lot of rappers, you name it. Could have hooked him up with Nipsey, whatever. Y'all do some music together. You in there with Snoop Dogg doing music, listening to the East Side and all, he could have hooked him up with whatever, whoever. But since apparently he didn't want to fall in line, name himself Popcorn, whatever else, he didn't want to fall in line with Pops. Pops said, oh, I'll show you. I'm the big dog. Everything goes through me. You can't do anything without me. No one's bigger than me. This sort of thing, this sort of revelation to me is not necessarily surprising because people who have that sort of attitude tend to have it at all times with everyone. It's like encountering someone who is stingy. Oftentimes you will find that these people are stingy with everyone. They're stingy even with their own mother. It's hard to turn it on and turn it off. I'm going to be stingy with you, but I'll give you the world. No, you just tight as hell. You just a parsimonious individual. And you cannot turn that on and then turn that off. That's who you are. And if you are an individual who is narcissistic or believes that the world revolves around you, that you're the big dog in every situation, that tends to carry over to every relationship. You cannot turn that on and turn that off. I'm the big dog at work and over here, but when I come home, I'm just a little puppet. No, you think you're the big dog everywhere in all situations. So he should he be successful, and hopefully he will be, it will not be because of his father. Again, if anything, it'll be just in spite of his father, he was still able to make it. His father, it doesn't look to me, has opened any doors for him musically. When he certainly had the opportunity to, but since he wouldn't fall in line, it looks like that's what I'm gathering here, since he would not fall in line. And his father said, you're on your own. I'll run this. I'm the big dog. You figure it out. Let's see if he can figure it out. He's going to have to now. His father's in there. His father's locked up, so he's been on his own anyway, trying to figure it out. But let's see what happens. And, again, who his father is who his father is. They didn't say, you got 10 daddies to choose from. Which one you want? He said, I want him to be my daddy. You get to choose him. That's just who his father is. And, he's not here throwing his father under the bus that I see, but he's also, again, not necessarily pulling any punches and not sugarcoating all of this stuff, or my father's just, the second coming of Jesus, or my father's a Christian man who's never hurt anyone, and all this sort of stuff. I don't see him talking like that. He's just, I would say, being forthright and forthcoming in the interview.
It was like one of those, like one of them alternative joints, like, imagine what's that song? It was like Coldplay. Rule the world. Yeah. And then just imagine them singing that song, and then when they done, like, oh, Hood, that was fire. So that's me. It's like, wait a minute. How the fuck this nigga just went up there and said, something's in the way, yeah. Ooh, something's in the way. And then I'd be like, how y'all feel? Y'all like that? On Crip, that's fire, huh? They like, hey, how the fuck? Because I am Big U son. I am Lil U. I am of gang culture. Yeah. But that's just one aspect of me that I accepted, that I don't call this child an offense, because I'm not out here trying to cause anybody harm, because I'm from 60s as a tribe. You know what I'm saying? But that is a part of me. So it's gonna always be there. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna always be there. It's like code switching almost. They call it, like, where you could be like run a Fortune 500 company, black man, you know what I'm saying, up there studious, you know what I'm saying? Hey, my name is Derek Carpenter, nice to meet you. I run such and such Fortune 500 company, and, we're here to try to establish whoop, and we would like to ask you a few questions, see how you feel, if you want to think you can do business with us. You know what I'm saying? Then somebody come up and be like, what the fuck, nigga? You like that? How you just go from that to, because it's still in him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right now, it's not about that. It's about me talking to these people and taking care of my business. But hey, don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had, hey, my nigga, I'll fuck you up. Now, before we start this conversation, I would like to know how you feel about, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? I realize that it's not about, but it's being more authentic, if you ask me, because it's saying, hey, I understand that I have more than one hat that I wear. Mm-hmm. I know when to put it on and when to take it off, though. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
and it's like that in my music. I hear your music is alternative, but when you listen to the lyrics, it's still hood shit. Like, yeah, I've been on probation too long.
That's why I call it. That's why I shout out Pac-Man. You know what I'm saying? But I really feel like the genre of music that I make is called, I would call it bang rock.
Bang rock.
Yeah, I gotta shout out Pac-Man. That's not he came with this shit years ago, but I am the face. I am bang rock. Yeah. I feel like he had the idea, but like I embodied that shit. Like I get it now, bro. Yeah. That's me. You know what I'm saying? Because my style, like I said, I don't have a style, but the music that you might know me from might be neo soul, might be post punk, might be alternative indie pop, it might be R&B, It might be shoegaze, but it still has that street element to it. So that's why it's like it's like bang rock damn near, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not gang banging on you, but like I said, I might perform a song, be like, you know what I'm saying, cuz I'm gonna be like, cuz that was fire, you know what I'm saying? They be like, how you just go from that to cuz? Like, because nigga, that's what I am, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, I just understand that we are role players on this earth, and everybody's role is different. You know what I'm saying? And people lose sight of that, and they forget that I'm not supposed to be just like this person. I'm supposed to be like me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so that's when I realized, like, I'm not supposed to be like this person. I'm supposed to be like me. And my life has been so much better since I understood that and accepted that, because now I let people, I can be helped more in different areas of my life because I understand that I need help in these areas now. I'm not trying to figure it all out by myself. I'm not trying to do everything by myself. I'm like, hey, I know what I'm good at and I know what I'm not. You can do that. I'm not going to ask you nothing about that. Like, if you come to my house and you set up a camera, I'm not going to sit there and be like, hey, man, we'll do it. Because when I make my music, I don't want you to say shit to me. I know more about this than you do. So I'm going to, so shut the fuck up. If you come in here and you start talking about some lighting, I'm not about to be like, well, Kenta, I think, no. Hey, Khalifa, I think we need to sit you right there. You know what I'm going to do? Right here? Okay, cool. I'm not going to go back and forth with you about it. I'm not going to try to ask you a million questions about it. I'm not going to try to ask you if you're sure. Are you sure? Because, no, this nigga knows this shit. Why am I questioning him? It's not my... play your role. What is your role in this? Sit down and talk. Let him do everything else. And that's how my life is. So I get really frustrated with people now these days when I be like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like fall back. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm good at. Don't talk to me about that. Don't say nothing to me about this. You know what I'm saying? You might want to add something of value to what's going on. Realize that words have meaning. So watch how you talk to me. People these days be like, oh, bro, you're super duper stiff. Like, you don't even, like, it's not that I'm just stiff. It's just that I'm like, as a Muslim, I'm just non-tolerant. I'm not a playful person when it's not time to play around. You know what I'm saying? So and then, like, I check shit immediately. People be trying to do like little power checks. You know what I'm saying little things, and I used to not say things to people, but now I'm on top of shit immediately. Like, you say something that's weird, I'm on it immediately. On site. You know what I'm saying? Like people might be like, yeah, man, you're starting to look like a rock star. What you mean? No, I'm saying like, but you said I'm starting to look. Let's focus on look. Bro, I'm saying like, nigga, I said, am I what you seeing, or am I trying to be what you seeing? Oh, you a rock star, huh? Yeah, say that. Don't say I look. Cause people like to unjustly play around with you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're saying I look, which means deep down, rooted in your subconsciousness, you still don't believe it. You just think that it's a costume I got on. Yeah. Because when you use words how they supposed to be used, then you say what you say, what you mean what you mean. Yeah. Kenta, cameraman like a motherfucker. I didn't say, hey man, you kind of looking like you on some Spike Lee shit. No, nigga, you are. Yeah. Ain't no in between. Yeah. Ain't no maybe. Yeah. Possibly. What I think. No. This is the reality. This is the truth. Nigga, you're in here with a setup. You are a cameraman. You are the cameraman. You are a director. I'm not gonna say Kenta you low key look like a director right now. Like, no, you are directing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, not to be like a little petty, but I don't leave the door cracked for shit no more. I on it immediately. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker come up to me like, hey man, you should start working out. Like, what you mean start working out? I mean like that. I'm just saying, no, what you mean start working out? Like, I got dumbbells right next to everywhere I walk in my house is a dumbbell. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean nothing about that. That's not for her. She probably think, but that ain't. I'm just saying, like, I just be on top of stuff, bro. Like, I don't play around people. And I got that from prison. Like, and I tell people, like, I picked up a lot of good things from there, It's not a good place. I'm an abolitionist. I'm not about reform. I'm not about making something more efficient, making it better with less. I'm about completely doing away with it. But what I did pick up from when I was in there was that when you grow up, you don't have time to really play around. Like, it's okay to joke around, but like motherfuckers is sensitive. You know what I'm saying? People gotta understand that. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that, because you probably got a lot of shit you got going on, and you don't got time for somebody to be making no jokes about you. I would be in that motherfucker. Well, I would have been in that motherfucker and be like, damn OG, you got look like you got 2 left shoes on today. Nigga, I'll stab you. Whoa, all I said was you got 2 left shoes. But what I failed to realize is this man been in prison. This man wanna go home. This man probably lost his mama while he was in here. This man don't got, he not, you know, he don't got no time for no jokes. You know what I'm saying? He's, at least not right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might be able to catch him one day where you get to laugh and joke with OG, but like right now, he more times than not, he's not in the mood for it. And so that's how I am. I'm not in the mood for that shit. I'm on a mission right now. So I don't have time for you to come joke around with me. Don't play around with me. Don't make no little funny ass jokes thinking that. Don't do that, because I'm gonna check you immediately.
How long did you do?
5 years. Which is nothing compared to a dub, 15, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. But it's still about what I did with that time. It's about who I was around when I did my time. I was around lifers. Niggas that was trying to go on board. I was around people that were getting their sentence commuted. So I was around like scholars of prison system. I wasn't around.
What jail did you go to?
Soledad. I was in there with scholars, bro. I'm talking about like scholars. I'm talking about people that were getting their sentences commuted by Governor Newsom because of the work they put into degrees. Did your pops
visit you?
No. I never got a visit from my dad, but he was put money in my books when I asked him.
Okay.
But then I never got a visit from him. He never came to a court date. I ever got in trouble, never came to a court date, never got me a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? Never nothing, none of that. Wow. And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that that's just the kind of person he was. That's why I'm gonna say.
Yeah, not sound like a great person. That is in a bad way. I mean, he's not saying it in a bad way. Again, clearly doesn't mean to disparage his father. He loves his father. So I'll do it for him. Jeez, what kind of father doesn't show up to his son's court date? Damn to all this tough love nonsense, especially if you're in the street yourself. You're a freaking thug. You're a gang member. You want your son to do better or be better, you be better. Lead by example. Children do what they see, not what you tell them to do. What they see you doing. So if you're disgusted by him or don't want to support him because he's in prison or going to court and all this, you stay out of court. You stay out of prison and set a better example. And since you are setting this sort of example for your child, then you certainly, I would think, are charged with supporting him when he goes to a situation that you probably helped set up with the way that you live your life. But to turn your back on your child and never show up to court, I'm assuming his mother showed up to court, but I don't care. I'm showing up to every court date of my son. Let these people do whatever they want to do to my child in the courtroom. Man, I don't know, bro. I don't want to speak too bad or too down on Big U or this man's father. It's not really sitting well with me.
He put money in my bus because I want nobody to be like, this nigga just, no. My dad was the kind of guy where it's just like, you'd be like, this nigga don't fuck with me. But then you do, because if I needed to call him for something, he gonna do it. And so it was just one of those things where this is how he raised me, you know what I'm saying? Like, to know, like, he's going to be there, but he's not going to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Basically, he ain't going to be there if he feels like you fucked up and you got to learn yourself, basically.
Yeah. I just think that I found out, or let's per se, that every situation is unique, and people need to understand that and stop trying to treat everybody the same way. And I feel like that's what the difference was. I wasn't getting the special treatment that I actually fucking really needed. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't getting that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was like I said, it was a gift and a curse of it.
Now, you said something earlier that hit me. You said something on 6-0, and you said, but the tribe of 6-0, meaning not the gang and all this other stuff, but it's still a brotherhood. It's still like a fraternity. You know what I'm saying? It's still like
it's
a
like
community, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like we understand COINTELPRO, and we understand, like, I feel like no matter what, and it always seems like they get him at the end. I don't care if it's Michael Jackson, Prince, Bill Cosby, you know, Puff Daddy, Suge Knight, and I look at Big U in an aspect the same as those guys, but on an independent street level. You understand what I'm saying? And I feel that there is some type of hidden hand, you know what I'm saying, that's attacking your father. You understand what I'm saying? And I think maybe Wack did the opening doors, but when you really like look through the glasses, I really do see that your father creates a lot more peace. He stops beefs. He de-escalates problems. You understand? Like, I see a lot of that more than creating problems. You understand? He de-escalates problems.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You feel me? And I think that he's a power that be, so they want to take him out. You know what I'm saying? What do you feel about that?
I think I'm gonna say that my dad, I feel like
you know, and it's always smart, especially if you may be about to say something heavy, something perhaps controversial, or something that can be taken out of proportion or taken out of its context. You want to reflect and think just like he's doing before you answer, before you respond, before you make a statement. It's just a sign of intelligence that he's exhibiting here. This is his father that he's talking about, so just being cautious.
I don't think he caused problems. I don't think he was a problem causer anymore. I think he was a problem solver for a lot of people. But then I just think that people exaggerate things. So I feel like even like with the Hip Hop Uncensored, I just feel like people take this man standing on who he always been and building their life and a career off of it, and they don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because they feel like it's not supposed to end like that for him, for people like him. Excuse me, as far as like, you know, people going out on drugs, or people like going out on rape, or people like just all these things. It's like, he don't have none of that. You know what I'm saying? He don't have none of that. And so it's like they have to create something based on things that he's probably done, but they exaggerate it though. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what they doing. I feel like they trying to like exaggerate shit to make it seem like, oh, this person needs to be off the streets, when really like what y'all really trying to do is take away the pillars in the community, because that's y'all always been y'all agenda. But you'll have to spin the narrative and make it seem like this is somebody that we need to get off the streets, or he's doing all this, he's doing all that, so that you don't have an uproar with the public in his defense, because they're buying into this. For one, he killed Nipsey, and for two, he's an extortionist, and for three, he's just a horrible person. You know what I'm saying? And then they take little video clips of him saying shit. You know what I'm saying? And they try to like make they're good at what they do. You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like that's what's going on. I think that they just trying to, not they trying to.
Well, you can certainly make anyone look a certain way. Put together a few clips, a few statements of theirs, and you can paint a certain narrative. I've seen that myself, you know. And then when you put it all into perspective, it turns into be something else. I don't know that that's the case here with Big U, but I don't know him, so I'm not here to litigate his situation or his case. We've heard the feds and their allegations against him that he was not a not so great guy, you know, that whatever. Again, I'm not going to even get into that. But so, you know, Lil U's perspective is just that they're painting this picture of his father. They're painting a certain narrative of his father to, you know, so that the public will consume his incarceration without there being any backlash or people standing up for him, celebrities speaking up for him, whatever. You have to first drag his name through the mud, basically, you know, water him down in the eyes of his people. And then you can attack him without much resistance. This is how they've done black leaders, of course, in the past. I'm not saying that this is the situation with Big U. I'm just saying that this is his son's assessment of the whole thing. He knows his father. I do not. He just believes that it's basically a smear campaign. This is what it sounds like, that they're painting a certain picture of his father, and that it's not as bad as they're making it seem, but they're painting this picture in order to lock him up. And when they do lock him up and keep him in there, there will not be much of an uproar because they have already influenced the people, have the people believe in a certain narrative about the individual.
But they want to get him off the street because they don't like the fact that this man did everything he did and made it this far, and he's seeing the fruits of his labors, if you will, with my brother being in the league, and you know, like him just being seen as a celebrity, him getting football jerseys from college football teams and being on sidelines, and you know what I'm saying, they just like, and they don't want that success story, because then I would let other people know that they can do it too, that you can leave, you can turn over a new leaf and still be who you are. You know what I'm saying? Because in the grand scheme of things, no, what the fuck has this man done for y'all to be trying to even do something to this man? This man ain't stopped y'all from doing nothing that y'all doing over there.
Nothing.
He ain't stopped y'all from doing nothing. Y'all still y'all eat nothing. And you ain't even got nobody that's out here complaining about nothing. Like you ain't like you ain't even seen one person that's like, hey man, you haven't seen one person get on no interviews or no nothing saying, man, we need this man out of here. This man took from me, he's cold, you don't hear nobody talking about, if you hear somebody talking about my dad, they talking about some shit from the 90s that he did when he was in prison or in the 80s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, people hate on my dad the same way they hated on me. And so, you know, it's like people, they just want them.
Now tell them.
They just want them out of here.
And it's another thing about the developing options. They're trying to make it seem like your dad did all these crimes and these criminal enterprise and funding it through developing options. Like, I mean, I've been filming and been around for years. I see a lot of money spent in developing options.
Man, listen. Like I said, I don't really know what's going on with developing options. You know what I'm saying? I be doing my own thing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really know what's going on with that shit, to be real. I don't know enough to speak on it. All I can say is that my dad felt like he owed his community something. And he did that through developing options. And next thing you know, people start having jobs and shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, Crenshaw, his football organization was well taken care of. They had everything they need. You know, like he giving back to the community, like he did. You know what I'm saying? I just think that my dad is an example of knowing when to fall back. You gotta know when to fall back. You gotta know when to just focus on you and yours, and not everybody else. I think that's what I'm taking away from this. You just gotta know when to fall back. You gotta know what to say no to. You gotta know that people are always watching you, and you have to think 10 steps ahead at all times. You know what I'm saying? And you have to protect yourself. At the same time, if what you promoting and what you want to be known for can be seen as bad and negative, then you got to ask yourself, is it time for me to switch it up, or am I just going to keep pushing the same image and the same person that I've been pushing my whole entire life? And I feel like that's what I'm learning from this, is like, Big U should only, the Big U thing should only have lasted for so long, and not just that, it should have, the world is too big to sit here and try to like stay planted in the same area. You know what I'm saying? Like I know plenty of OGs that moved from over here. My dad didn't. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? There are plenty of OGs that take what they got, take it on the road. My dad didn't. I'm not saying that it was something he should have never did that, or he didn't know what he was doing. But at the same time, it's just like, infamy and famous is two different things. Famous,
Got
infamous,
that right.
you're famous, but you're not famous for the right things. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like the infamy kind of like was what he had. You know what I'm saying? And then that's not, you see, at the end of the day, that's not gonna help me, even me. I can get blackballed from what I'm trying to do because of me being connected to my dad. You get what I'm saying? Like it's like.
And how hard has that been?
And that shit frustrating because it's like.
Was it bad before too?
Nah, it wasn't. It didn't get. I mean, I feel like it always been some type of weird shit going on. You know what I'm saying? But now it's just like, it's hard for people to. It's hard for them to try to keep me out of something because of the message that I have, and the connection I got with God, to where just like they ain't gonna be able to stop the shit even if they wanted to. But yeah, it's difficult because I could say I could be a lot farther, a lot faster, and just doing a lot more musically if people weren't afraid to work with me. You know what I'm saying? And so that's another thing where it's like, no matter what people say, and also I'm always feel type of way because I'm the one that got to deal with this shit directly. You know what I'm saying?
How do they come in? How can you tell when someone's afraid of you? Like, what's the like? How does a scenario work out?
You can't. I can't really tell when somebody's afraid of me, but what I can say is when it's just not making no sense. Cause like, hey, is y'all see what's going on? Hear what's going on, but niggas ain't reposted it, or I send you a song and you didn't respond, but then I see you working with another artist 2 days later, and this artist is bunk, trash. You know what I'm saying? It's like, nigga, my music is 1,000 times better than this guy, but you rather put all your money, emotion, and energy behind this whack-ass artist when I'm right here. That's how I know motherfuckers is not fucking with me. That's how I know it's some shit that don't got nothing to even do with me. You get what I'm saying? So that's where it's just like, that's what makes it that's what make it bittersweet, because it's like, damn, man, that's how y'all act with me. But then the sweet part is when motherfuckers is responding to my music like, yo, this shit fire. And I'm like, yeah, see, y'all ain't gonna be able to stop that. Y'all gonna be able to stop that. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing y'all gonna be able to do.
I'm gonna have to check him out and see what his music is all about. I mean, that, you know, he knows better than me. He's the one that's going through it, but that could be part of the situation, that Big U is his father. No one wants to be bothered with that. Or it could be, I mean, even his father did the same thing. Went, you know, uplifted Nipsey Hussle instead of him. It could just be that they feel like whoever the individual is the one that has the potential. I don't know, but he feels like he is being blackballed in the industry, or at least has the potential to be blackballed based on his father being Big U. And then he also just said that, you know, his father should have got out of town. To paraphrase, he should have took what he had, his millions, his money, his prestige, his respect, and booked it. And changed his life, changed his image. He said, after so long, you know, how long you gonna be Big U? Yeah. Well, yeah, good question. I mean, those streets only lead to a certain two things: death or prison. That's it for everyone.
You know what I'm saying? To stop what is about to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I had a conversation with my manager last night. And she's like, yeah, you gotta think about being blacklisted. You just gotta be aware of that because of who your dad is. So it's like that's where I get the that's where I start feeling some type of way towards him. Cause it's like, nigga, like I deserve the utmost. Cause look what the fuck I gotta go through. And it's not so like I feel like it was my kid. Like my kid was like, damn, Dad, I want to do this, but it's because of you being who you is, you making it hard. How the fuck am I gonna be hard on him? I should be the nicest person to him. You know what I'm saying? I should be anything you need because I know that my son is suffering because of me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to be no type of way towards this man. Whatever you need, you got it. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's not like that, then it's like, nigga, how the fuck you acting like that, nigga? Niggas, this is your fault. This is your fucking fault, nigga. This is your fault. This is not my fault. I didn't do none of this shit. And I can't separate myself. I'm your fucking kid. They call me Khalifa. They don't call me Lil U. But let them do their little Googles. Oh, this is Big U, son? Hey, man, I don't know. I got to worry about shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So that's when I kind of be on this, on the, that's where I don't like to straddle the fence, but that's where I just be like, man, this shit be like, I just don't be wanting to have nothing to do with this shit for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my life don't revolve around that. But when people see me happy and they see me performing, they kind of like not knowing how to feel because they're like, shouldn't this nigga be somewhere under a rock right now? You know what I'm saying? How is he doing this? Like, he seems so happy. How? We don't know what to say to this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because to be real, I realize that like my life is my life. You know what I'm saying? God got his own plan for all of us. But at the same time though, shit, nigga, I have to deal with what comes with that. The same way Puff kids gotta deal with their dad being Puff.
Ain't that the truth? Okay, 114.47. All right, man, that's all I can do right now, Lil U. Jeez, I gotta go eat something, man. Jeez. Whoa. All right. I'll do the second half of this, man. I'll finish it up probably in the morning or something. It's not that much. The interview is 1 hour and 56 minutes and 39 seconds. I got the 114 on it. So I got a little bit left of it, a little something left of it. I'll finish it up. I'll see where I left off at. I'll pick it up right there at 114.47 and let you speak as you've been doing and, state your case and etc. Again, let the people decide as to what you meant by the clips that they saw in the prior videos. I will say already, I do see a different perspective, or I have a different perspective. Not that I judged from the beginning. I didn't know. I was just reacting to a video. It's whatever. But some things I would say have been revealed here that caused me to think of a few things differently. At least let's just say that him and his pops had a relationship that I probably would have thought that they should have had or did have, or his pops certainly has not opened any doors for him. And hell, he's saying now, his pops need to be more understanding when he comes to him for help and support or whatever, because you help or the sole responsibility for me being in this situation and this position where people don't want to work with me because I'm your child. But it doesn't seem like his father does have that sort of capacity to understand or to be doting with his children. At least not with this child. But again, I don't know. I'm not here to judge Big U and his parenting skills, or whatever. But some of the things that I heard, yeah, I'm going to give my opinion on that. And but everyone has their own parenting style. Some people may agree with Big U in his parenting style. Hey, you get out of the house, you leave, don't come back. I'm not about to be out there on the street looking for you and this and that. Don't you tough? You want to be out there gang banging and be in the street? Stay out there. I don't know. I mean, he was 16. but you're responsible for him until he's 18. So, I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. As I said, I'll play the rest of the video. I'll make sure to do that. If not tonight, then tomorrow. And let him finish up saying what he has to say. But, pretty interesting here. Pretty interesting interview. Some insight onto the life of Big U and how his children, or at least this child, grew up living in the Big U household, the support that he was getting or not getting, how he got himself into the lifestyle and in the industry and so forth. But it's clear that he wants his own name and his own identity. He wants to separate himself from Big U in some way. He's making it clear that that's his father and he loves him. Understandable. But he wants to make his own way, as any man would want to. I get that absolutely as well. So again, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, if y'all perspective has changed some or not. To this point, again, we still have some ways to go, not a whole lot, but a little ways to go. Let him finish up and see we haven't even got to the comments he made about Nipsey Hussle yet. So, we'll finish it up and maybe you'll hold your opinion until you see the rest of it, but I don't know. Let me know what you think so far. I've already formed somewhat of an opinion, if you will. Again, sort of changed my perspective some. Things are not always what you think they are. You just never really know anyone's story or know what's going on, if you're not there in a part of the situation. So let's just not judge. Let's make it a habit of not judging anyone if we don't know for sure, we don't know the facts, and we don't know their situation. And again, practice humanity, being kind to one another. This is what's important. Waving at your neighbor, saying hello to the cashier at the grocery store, who's had a long day and then dealt with a bunch of ungrateful, irritated, mean, agitated people. And they just want to make it home. Throw them a smile. Tell them to have a good day. Recognize their humanity, man. That's all. That's all we can do. Stay safe. Again, I'll be back with the second half. Shout out to Lil U. Stay safe and stay free, people.